It's DSP's Top 10 Worst Gaming Moments of 2010. Number 4. Final Fantasy XIII switches up the gameplay with a mandatory 10-hour grind. A lot of gamers this year actually enjoyed Final Fantasy XIII for the first 10 to 15 hours because it actually was one of the most linear Final Fantasies ever designed. Now at the same time, a lot of critics panned the game for being so linear in nature when previous Final Fantasy iterations had let you explore more of an open world. Now, the thing about Final Fantasy XIII is that after the first 10 to 15 hours, you actually do finally hit your first open world scenario, but here's where the weirdness comes in. Square Enix actually decided to make it mandatory that you grind in this open world area from anywhere from 5 to 10 straight hours of gameplay. Because if you try to continue the story of the game, the difficulty level to defeat the next boss is so wide that there's no way you could possibly beat him without actually grinding non-stop for hours on end. So because of this mandatory grind, gamers actually started designing paths and drawing maps and putting them on the internet of saying this is the way you should go and keep fighting this particular group of monsters over and over and over when they respawn because they give you the maximum amount of experience and you can level up the quickest. But the question still remains, why did Square Enix make the design choice to make such a long mandatory grind in a game that up to that point of 15 hours of gameplay invested never made you grind at all? Some gamers actually became so frustrated with the complete change of the style of gameplay that they stopped playing the game altogether, which was a shame because the end game is actually pretty interesting, but it's just such a weird choice. Grinding's always been part of role-playing games, but never has a game so much forced you into doing it for such an elongated period of time after 15 hours of gameplay that were completely different. Just changing the game night and day, and really odd design choice. One of the worst things ever chosen in a game, in my opinion. Up next, a game takes on the daunting task of trying to have the most content of any game in history, but ends up running into some unexpected roadblocks.